All right. So, last time on A Crown of Cold Iron, after lots of lots of months of real time, but probably more like 1 or 2 weeks in game time of delving beneath the Raven Palace, the party has finally explored pretty much every nook and cranny, and all that awaits is the dark shadow of the great raven itself, the horrifying presence haunting the great hall, hovering over your prize, a phantasmal fragment of the seal of the Raven King. Not the true artifact in the physical Raven Palace up above, whose claiming would initiate some complex political conversations. Nevertheless, you believe that this fragment will have enough power to allow you to summon the Summer King, the Raven King's ancient opposite, who seems to be haunting the city of Queensboro as some kind of strange, wandering thundercloud of a man. But dark revelations have happened. Things have been revealed about the history of the Fey human wars and the things that were done to try to preserve humanity against a more powerful and strange opponent. We left you all in the midst of this. Stultus still sort of emotionally traumatized by experiencing an aggregate of Fey pain and memory that was haunting this experimentation chamber. And that's where we left off. Lexi, you are looking down at 6 wicked looking daggers and what looks like crystalline vials. Literally shards of shaped crystal about this big, some of them flickering with strange gray green misty internal light. And they're sitting on a table before you. Auric, you have retreated into the other ritual chamber. What would you all like to do?
I'm making notes to myself real quick. The crystals are separate from the daggers, correct? Okay. And how big did you say they were? Because I was looking down when you showed that on camera.
Think about the size like a test tube.
Okay. Okay.
And if you want to pick those up, I can actually drop them in your inventory so you'll have the description.
Okay, yeah, go for it. I'll pick them up.
I think Cyrus is gonna walk over next to Stultus, um, and just kind of like gently ask,
Pat him on the
"So,
shoulder.
what did you see?" Yeah, I can't. I don't think he's gonna touch yet. I don't want to
There,
like
there.
spook him.
Let me turn off my raging.
So the stoic Stultus has been standing stock still in the center of this room with his strange, simmering, opalescent tears running down his face. You ask him this question, Auric. You have a very good idea of what Stultus has understood happened here. Do you want Stultus to answer her?
Kind of no, but at the same time, I think I'm distracted enough trying to pretend that room doesn't exist that I'm not paying attention.
So I think Stultus is going to make a very low charisma saving throw. If Auric if Auric sort of put his mind to it, he could make it almost impossible for Stultus to talk about this. But with it being sort of just an incidental pressure, we're only going to call this a DC 5. So he's going to make a charisma saving throw, which he's pretty good at. Stultus gets a 22. Now, Stultus knows that Auric doesn't want to talk about this. So he's going to be very tactful in how he explains this, even if he'd prefer not to be. Stultus's low rumbling voice comes out, still kind of choked up. There were things done in this room. Things that have left a mark that no amount of fire will burn away.
Done by whom?
So all four of you, caught glimpses of this. In those sort of haunted visions that the gallows speaker pressed on all of you, painfully so. The ancient Blackthorn loomed large. It seemed like he was at the center of what was happening here. That being said, I certainly for Cyrus, I think would be able to put together some of the power dynamics of this space and the history of it.
Like, does Cyrus think Mort participated?
I think that it's a given that where this is located, it's a given that some limited amount of affirmation was given to this by Brand simply by where this is located. How much is hard to say. Mort is an interesting question. Give me a history check with advantage. Because I think your vision alone doesn't give you enough. But you also have strange connections to this place.
19.
So, on a 19, you get the impression you've seen other visions down here. You've caught weird glimpses of Mort's memories several times. You've found yourself in moments of the past, walking in his footsteps. You know that the Mort that you have come to experience the one who was sort of a family friend, is perhaps a recent development. The glimpses you've caught of Mort in the past seem almost incomprehensible. And as you sort of focus in on it, your impression is that Mort would have known what this room was for, would have enabled what was happening here. He didn't necessarily have as much of the specific arcane skill set that the Blackthorn was bringing, but Mort, especially this ancient Mort, seemed less distinctly human and almost closer to a herald or totem of what the Morrigan was and is. This sort of avatar of war and conflict and violently overcoming your foes to gain victory. Mort would probably have been fine with this space, even helped out here in ways that are hard to mesh with the person you think of.
Fair enough.
Also, spinning off of some really good checks you've made previously, that does send a little thought spiraling through your head of what does it do to your personality to metaphysically carve pieces of yourself off periodically over 1,500 years. The Mort you know might literally not be the same one who was here. It's like weird body horror. Oh shoot, Theseus. Yeah, weird body horror version of the ship of Theseus.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Anything else?
Time to lock it up and forget it existed, or erase its existence. One of the two.
Yeah.
All right. I think Stultus stays for a little while after you all leave. Not terribly long, but there's maybe a few minutes after you all walk out the door before Stultus follows. Are you all going to try and sneak in a rest before you go after the Great Raven?
Probably not a bad idea.
At least a short rest.
Yeah.
I will get myself some hit dice back.
Yeah. Yeah, come on, let me through the door. Thank you. Let's-
You all have just a staggering number of magical items. Especially Auric, after all the shenanigans of just piles of stuff that he found.
Yes. I have lots of clothes.
Yep. Clothes and basic magic weapons.
Slots. What are you doing?
However many you want.
Okay.
Be sure to
All
put-
right. You all are able to rest in relative safety because you can sort of shut down the bedroom again using the security magic. Do you want me to just sort of like drop you all in the Great Hall?
It didn't give me the dice to roll.
That's why I said click the die.
Where? There was never a
While you all
die.
do those, I'm going to grab a drink.
Yeah, sorry.
Cool.
There was never a die on. And too late because I then
Yeah.
lost those. But
So just go ahead and roll it the other way, bottom corner.
okay. So it's 3d12s plus 15.
And lo, I have returned.
Huzzah!
All right. Want me to just drop you all into the room?
Sure.
Sounds good.
I'm already here.
All right, not bad. Only missing 3 hit points, so
Cool. I'm still missing 25. Don't hit me.
I will try.
Well. Should we knock?
Do we think it knows we're here?
Can I still connect to the magical security system?
I think so. It's not maybe as strong when you're not near one of the consoles, but you would have been able to check this before you came over.
I'm guessing just one thing in there.
Uh, there is one very powerful thing in there. You do get some little flickering traces of other things.
Oh no.
Man.
Be prepared for those little white ravens.
No, not those again.
Those are the
Y'all ready
ones
to
that
knock?
blow up and stun.
Yeah, those things. I think they're in there.
Okay.
Hey, Lexi, why don't you go first?
Hold on.
That's a good moment to remember. In classic video game fashion, you have a moment right before you open the door if you want to cast some spells on yourselves, if you have any consumables you want to use.
Can I bonus action my rage?
Yeah, we've said you can sort of time
Okay.
your rage to kicking the door in.
Okay.
But if there's any spells you all want to have started,
Now is the time.
yes.
Okay. Then I definitely want to find the right section of the thing, and I want to rage as I kick down the door.
You also have an item that you've not used before, or at least not
Oh.
recently, which is the Brooch of Many Sizes.
The brooch.
And you can use it to grow a size before you kick in the door.
Oh, hell yeah, I will.
How big is the door?
I mean, this is like grand double doors. Like,
This is, yeah. We're not doing it justice with what's here, but this is like the main entrance hall doors. Like,
yeah, it's a little hard to convey. The doors are 10 feet wide. Like,
each individual one, you mean?
I mean, like the span of doors is 10 feet.
Okay.
Like the four of you could probably walk side by side and not touch the door frame.
Okay.
Okay, well. Oh, that has an hour-long duration. Sure, I'll cast it right now.
What are you gonna cast?
Summon Draconic Spirit.
Ouch, that lasts for an hour?
Yes.
Nice.
Holy crap.
It is concentration, though.
But still, I thought most of those spells were a minute.
Not this one.
So I'm gonna need a token for a Draconic Spirit.
Which one are you doing?
This time I think I want to do a Gem Dragon.
And we decided Jim was the fairy dragon looking one.
Yes.
Is it large?
It is large.
This is about to get very kaiju battle in here. Oh, whoops. Helps if I put on a layer you can see.
Yay. Lexi be big.
Damn,
Dragon
son.
be
Look
big.
at this girl.
All right. Anything else?
I'm ready.
Pretty much all of my spells are targeted, other than invisibility, but it disappears as soon as I attack. So I'm not sure it's worth being invisible going through the door.
Okay.
Boot the door.
Boot the door.
All
Boot
right.
the door.
So you open the door. So let's go ahead and everyone start rolling for initiative.
Damn, son.
A whopping 8.
Oh man, I only got a 14. It's really crappy given my. Okay, well, you know. I'll be right back. I'm going to use the restroom.
So your draconic spirit has 50 hit points, right?
Yes.
Jeez, and it has AC 19.
Yup.
I'm gonna give it its own entry. That way we don't forget it in the initiative. And your initiative is 8, so it goes right after you, right? Usually
I
it's
believe
6.
so.
Yeah, immediately after yours. So I'm going to mark it to number 7. All right. We will wait for Lexi to return. We'll also wait for my wife to walk through the door because it will be loud. I don't want to be boss room describing right as something loud happens. Guess I will keep getting other assets ready while we wait, so I don't have to look them up later.
Oh, that's helpful.
What?
Shared resistances. When you summon the dragon, choose one of its damage resistances. You have resistance to the chosen damage type until the spell ends. I choose Radiant
Is that for everybody or just you?
for me.
Okay.
Looks like Tasha's updated the length of all the summon spells to an hour. So that's handy.
Nice.
Okay. So who is first? Me?
I believe so.
Okay.
All right. So, Lexi grabs this strange brooch of fairy magic. You are flooded with a surge of power, and you all watch as Lexi grows to be about 10 or 12 feet tall,
Woohoo.
flying into a radiant rage. She smashes the door in as Auric is casting this spell and rips into reality and pulls out this huge, majestic fairy dragon with echoes of Lambton, but a more sort of traditional draconic form. So you crash through the door. At the top of the initiative is the lair action. So you all kick in the door and you see first nothing. The room is dark other than the light that you all bring with you. The burning light of Auric's Fey Flame torch, Lexi's burning white radiance. And the door opens and you see a vast hall. This is perhaps the most grand space. You were in it upstairs, but it was... It was made... It felt safe upstairs. Throughout the room were colorful, neatly printed infographic banners explaining the life and history of the Raven Palace, the state of the culture, and the quality of life 1,500 years ago. Tourists milled about. People were taking pictures. There was like school groups here. It felt very innocuous. It felt safe and dry in the way that historical places turned museums often do. This is something far different. This space is cavernous and large, and it is filled with deep, deep darkness. 4 huge pillars hold up a ceiling that extends so far into the shadows you can't even see it. There is a huge raised platform, and atop it sits a beautiful but perhaps lonely looking throne. There are statues and relics. There are banners and icons sort of arrayed around the room, reflecting the power that was once held in this space. A room in which the fate of all humanity rested. It was here that kings of other nations came and bowed down. It was here where decisions were made that ultimately led to the severing of reality into its constituent parts. And nesting in the shadows, high, high above, you see a single burning white, baleful eye. And then you realize that it's attached to a patch of deeper darkness. A pair of wings, impossibly large, flutters for a moment. And you see just the faintest outline of something massive. Lexi, as you step into the room, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Nat 20.
There we go. As you step into the room, the space is filled with the sights and sounds and even smells of a horrendous battlefield. Somehow, this huge dark chamber is also a tangled quagmire of a battlefield. There are human and fey soldiers trampled into the ground around you. You are surrounded by the dead and the dying. There are broken weapons, shattered remains of siege weapons, burning embers of spells. It all threatens to pull at your legs and to slow your approach. But you manage to push through, and you realize that it's not quite an illusion, but it's not entirely real either. Something about the ensnaring, constricting nature of the battlefield has been temporarily impressed into this space.
Temporarily. You said temporarily been pressed into the space.
For now.
Okay.
Let's get a little... Something flickers, and you see motion. Two clouds of flickering ravens covered in sparks of white fire make themselves visible, and one of them is going to fly right at you.
Okay.
They caw and screech as they approach. The first one had to dash to get to you. The second one does not have to dash. It is going to use its Counting Crows ability.
Great.
The crows flash with bright white light. We need another wisdom saving throw.
Thought they were gonna sing me a song. 11.
Why do you all have such a bad whatever with these birds?
Well, I ain't got no support on my wisdom saving throws. I got 0. So I got lucky that first time.
All right. Oof. Well, that wasn't a fun way to enter the room.
No, it wasn't, was it?
Oh, wait, hold on. Haha. Stultus is going to go ahead and burn his reaction to give you another shot at that saving throw.
Okay. Yeah, that's another nat 20.
Nice. You are not stunned. You are surrounded by this strange mingled power of Stultus's. This deep primal strength of the earth mixed with a sort of strange, mysterious gray fire, and it flickers over you for a second and repulses this effect. You're going to take 12 points of psychic damage, but you are not stunned, and it is your turn. And you're already raging.
Gosh.
Do you happen to remember what your blue number 1 is from?
I don't.
That was
It was from
probably a
the
bleed from.
yeah. Okay, so I've healed that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I know it's from the last encounter. All right. And I get my broken spear and I swing at which one? So which one didn't have to dash? Because that's the one that hit me, right?
Yes, that was the one down below you.
Okay, so that's the one I'm going to hit.
All right.
All while singing about paving paradise and putting up parking lots.
21 will hit.
All right. That's 11 points of piercing damage. And then what is it? 1d6, right? Of radiant.
So it is 1d6 lightning damage.
Lightning damage, thank you. Okay, that's a 5. It's like my brain's like, I know I hit another roll. I don't know what it is.
So you do notice the actual piercing effect is not as strong as you feel like it should be,
Okay.
but the lightning blasts into it.
Yeah.
All right, that's attack number 1.
All right, so I'm gonna swing and stab again. And that's a 19.
19 will also hit.
Okay. And that's 12 points of piercing damage
All right.
and another 5 points of lightning damage.
All right. You stab 2 pretty substantial chunks out of it.
Okay. And that's my turn, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. Now I will feed kitten.
Now it is the Great Raven's turn.
Uh-oh.
Um, yeah, it not as many options as I'd like for this effect. So we're going to use sound. The Great Raven swoops down from the rafters and sort of aligns itself to this door frame, and it exhales a sort of manifested bloodlust. A huge, foul, iron-tasting cloud rushes over Lexi and past her into the room beyond. And you all hear the sounds of conflict, of steel on steel, of screams and horrific violence. And I'm going to need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
16.
I should have waited to cast my spell. 3.
Oh. Go ahead and roll for your Draconic Spirit, too.
18.
Unfortunately, Stultus already blew his assist.
Well, the Draconic Spirit got a 17.
All
Unless
right.
I switch around which one of us gets it.
Oof. Yeah, this is going to
What's
hurt.
worse?
For sure. This is going to be Oof. This is 32 points of psychic damage, reduced to 16 for everyone except for Auric.
Good thing I healed.
And Auric, you are frightened. This feeling of terror, of horrifying warfare happening all around you. It becomes overwhelming, and you feel like you are lost in this literal fog of war. And the Great Raven vanishes.
Fun.
Auric, it's your turn.
Okay. So I'm afraid, and I can't see the Great Raven.
Yep.
Remind me how fear works.
Oh,
You
I can see
cannot
the Great
move
Raven.
towards it, and as long as you can see it, you have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Okay. But I can't see it.
That is true.
Lexi's big butt is in the way.
Well, it's also invisible to me.
That's true.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move away from it.
Oh, did you do your concentration check?
No, I did not.
Wow, wow.
11. I lose the dragon before I have a chance to do anything with it.
Damn it.
I wasted a 5th level spell.
Yep.
This was not a great initiative order.
No.
All right. Well, I move 10 feet. Then I drop a 4th level fireball far enough back behind Lexi that it won't hit her. So everything is going to need all the ravens will need a dex save of 18.
All right. First swarm fails, second one succeeds. And what was the save you said?
18.
Great Raven just barely succeeds.
Damn.
All right, so 23 damage on a fail, I guess 11 on a success.
Who do you want your 4 extra points of damage to go to?
If it goes to the Great Raven, then it's going to be cut in half, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
The one that failed.
All right. That was your action. What would you like to do with your bonus action?
I would like to keep moving.
Are you going to like Misty Step or...
No, I only moved 10 feet, so that was the remaining.
Oh,
remainder
no.
of
I asked
30.
what you wanted to do with your bonus action, and you said move, and I was like,
Nope, I'm just still moving.
do you want to pop a potion or something as you run?
Yes, yes, I do want to pop a potion as I run. I'll pop my greater potion.
Yeah.
All right. That was Oric's turn. Cyrus, you're up. Oh, at the end of your turn, go ahead and repeat the saving throw to end the effect.
Wisdom, right?
Yep.
16. Why couldn't I have gotten that on the con save?
Seriously, right?
16 does break it, and the Great Raven reappears. Alternative way to
that's
look at it, it super sucks, but you also learned a really important mechanic, like within seconds and in the least painful way possible. All right, Cyrus, what you doing?
Do I have line of sight on anybody through the door, or do I have to move?
You can see. You could shoot the southernmost swarm pretty easily,
Okay.
or the. If you moved, you could see the other two pretty easily as well.
Okay.
That's their tracking numbers.
All right.
What?
Do we think they can? Do we think the Great Raven can bring the swarms back, or is it worth trying to bring a swarm down first? Let's just try doing a big old shot on the southern swarm and see how we do. So we'll actually, do I need to get? Actually, I take that back. Cyrus probably needs to back up from them a little bit. My range is 80. One thing. All right. Lexi's engaged with both of the swarms, but not the Great Raven yet, right?
Correct.
Okay. Cyrus is going to move back here. Um, bonus. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and bonus action hex that southern swarm and shoot at it. $22 to hit.
22 will hit.
$27 piercing and 6 necrotic, and we'll hex wisdom.
Oh, wow.
The piercing does not seem quite as effective as you would hope. But the necrotic does just fine. It has lost a lot of its substance already, which you know is not good for swarms. Anything else?
That'll do it.
Oh, yeah. Lexi, roll. Hold on. We forgot about your enlarge.
My what?
You
Your
did an
enlarge.
extra 2d4 damage,
Ooh.
and you attacked the northernmost swarm.
I attacked the one that didn't have to that
Southern.
had attacked me. Which I think was the
Okay,
southern.
yeah, the one that attacked
didn't
you was
have
the southern. So
Yeah.
roll 2d4 for me.
Okay. 7.
All right, it's going to cut that in half. It's going to deal 4 points of damage.
All right.
All right, it is Stultus' turn. Stultus is torn between going and healing Auric or joining the fight.
If you can keep it from hitting me again, you don't have to heal me.
Yeah, he's just going to go ahead and get in it. I think from here, yeah, he has a 15-foot cone, so he's going to be able to hit the northernmost raven. Actually, I guess he can go south. There's nothing. It's the same. He's going to hit the southernmost raven and the great raven with his breath weapon. So they're all going to make dex saves. Great Raven succeeds. His saving throw is not great. Swarm fails. This is going to be real uncomfortable for the Swarm. The southernmost Swarm takes 27 points of fire and poison damage.
Nice.
The Great Raven takes 14, and the Swarm is poisoned. So it's just generally having a bad day. That also means that Stultus has his reaction back, which will be very important for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
All right, at the end of Stultus's turn, the Great Raven is going to... it is going to try and... I'm going to have it make an intelligence check. It did not do well. It's going to waste its legendary action and try to frighten Stultus, not knowing that Stultus is a paladin and can't be frightened. All right. So it wasted two out of 3 legendary actions. And it is now the lair action. On the lair action, it is going to try and drop a Dread Aura on Lexi and Stultus. So both of you need to give me a Constitution saving throw. I say like I'm not Stultus.
24.
Nice.
All right. Both of you save, and both of you are resistant. So Great Raven is making poor choices. So each of you takes 4 poison damage. Not the best use of a lair action ever. All right, the swarms are going to go.
So
The-
4 poison damage, is that what I heard?
Yeah,
Okay.
Is that before or after the barbarian rage?
that's
cuts
after.
it?
That's
Yeah.
both of them cut it in half and then cut it in half again. All right, so one of them has their Counting Crows back and is going to use it on Stultus. Because Stultus is doing all kinds of fancy things. So Stultus is going to save. Oh, buddy. He got a nat 1.
Oh,
So he is going to use his reaction to re-roll that. Oh, buddy. He only got a 12. Which is not enough. Stultus is stunned until the end of his next turn.
Oh no.
Yikes, and he's going to take a lot of psychic damage.
Oh no.
Oof, 30 points of psychic damage.
Ooh.
Thank goodness Stultus is a brick house.
Yeah.
The weakened swarm is going to take advantage of Stultus's weakness. Oops. 13 points of piercing damage as they swarm him. And it's Lexi's turn.
Okay. I'm let's see. Who has taken everybody has taken at least some damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The southern swarm is very hurt.
Yes.
The other swarm and the Great Raven seem okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go for the Raven. I'm gonna go for the Great Raven. And that was a bad idea. I rolled a 13.
13 is not going to do it.
Or I'd also like to comment that D&D Beyond really like shafted me on that because it like just dropped down onto like that was not a roll, that was just a so rolling again. 26 did the same
26 will hit.
thing, but at least I got a better roll out of it. Still kind of judgy right now because that's I mean seriously, it's just like that's not a roll. All right, 12 points of piercing damage. And then 5 points of lightning damage. And then I need to roll 2d4s.
Just it's 1d4 per hit.
Okay, so just the one. All right. And 1 extra point.
All right. It's going to go ahead and use its remaining legendary action before its turn to. No one is frightened of it, so it is going to use Fog of War. But who can it actually? Nope, there's no reason to use this. None of its abilities are helpful. All right. It is the Great Raven's turn.
I see the Great Raven.
It does not recharge its breath weapon.
Barely.
So it is opportunistic. It's going to rotate down slightly, and it's going to go after Stultus. It rolled double nat 2s on an attack with advantage.
Wow.
Then it rolled a crit.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
Silvery barbs.
all right. It's going to roll one more time. So with advantage, it's the advantage roll and the new roll. Take the lower.
Yeah. So it replaced. If it hits, I make it roll one more time and take the worst roll.
Okay. So it's still going to hit with the other roll. Dealing 9 points of slashing damage. And it somehow hits with its last attack. Only dealing 6. So Stultus took 15. That's good though, because of the hits, the one that got double nat 2s was the big one. All right. So that is the end of its turn. It's going to get its legendaries back. It is Oryx's turn.
All right. And I'm about to do something I don't think I've ever done before. I am using my Font of Magic as a bonus action to convert all 7 of my sorcery points into a level 5 spell slot.
Yep, that's the highest level you can create.
And then I am casting Summon Draconic Spirit.
I knew that was coming.
This might be throwing good spell slots after bad.
Putting it right there.
Okay.
All right.
Use those for that.
So that was action and bonus action.
And
But now it gets to act.
I am also going to run the hell away. Try to get out of the line of sight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Get very far away. And yes, now the Draconic Spirit gets to act.
All right.
So it's gonna do a multi-attack. That will be a pair of bite and claw attacks at +10 each.
I'll throw you this tidbit because I think Auric would have noticed this. It hasn't done any radiant damage so far. It's done a lot of psychic damage.
Right. Yeah, so I'm going to not make it a Gym Dragon. I'm going to make it a no. Gym is still psychic.
Yeah, still gem,
Yes,
but now you can get psychic resistance.
yes please.
That will be very good for both of you.
Yes.
All right.
So if I roll Scorching Ray, is it going to do the damage as well? Because that's the +10 that I need.
It's a, yeah. Just hit the +10 and then just do the
All right.
damage separately.
So the first is going to be a 27 to hit,
Well, that'll hit.
That'll hit.
which is going to be add 5 to that, so 11 points of damage.
Nice.
And then the second attack is going to be only a 19 to hit.
19 still hits.
That's going to be another 13 points of damage.
What kinds of damage are these?
These are going to be necrotic damage.
Was the previous one necrotic as well?
Yes.
All right. You notice necrotic is not as effective as you would hope.
Well then, going forward, it will not be necrotic. Actually, well, if I would have noticed that, then the
Yeah,
second
you'd
one
notice
would
it for
not
the
have been.
second one.
The second one would have been thunder instead. And the third part of the multi-attack is a breath weapon attack. Its 30-foot cone can't hit anything besides the Great Raven without also hitting friends.
All right.
So Great Raven needs to do a dex save of 18.
Oh, I think the bite and claw just does piercing.
Oh, you're right, it does.
But that's okay, so actually that's better for you. So then none of that is resisted. All right, and his breath weapon, is it a save?
Yeah, dex save of 18.
Dex of 18. Gets 20.
So it only takes 3 points of thunder damage there.
All right. Anything else?
I mean, it could move, but it would draw an opportunity attack. So no, I think it's done.
All right. Man, that narrow doorway is really helping y'all a lot.
Uh-huh.
Then it's just going to sit on that for now. Cyrus, you're up.
All right. So there's one swarm on Stultus.
Yes.
Okay. And that's the one that's been hit a lot, right?
Yes.
All right. I think Cyrus is just going to keep focus fire on that. I don't think I can see the Great Raven. I think I can see both swarms. From where I'm at, but I don't think I can see the Great Raven. So we're just going to go for the good old steady aim. Which will crit.
Nice.
Oh, this is the giant double handful of dice. This is on the Great Raven.
I don't think I can. No, I think it's on the Southern Swarm.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because I don't think I can. I don't think I can see the Great Raven without moving. So
It's hard to envision how you don't kill this thing. I think you'd have to roll all ones on your sneak attack.
I was gonna say nat one.
Now, 40 damage. This thing explodes. And actually, that's super helpful because that means that Stultus is no longer stunned.
Hey.
Thing that you all would probably have noticed by now, people only stay stunned if they are within the swarm. So if the swarm goes away, they are no longer stunned.
Okay.
All right. Then it is Stultus' turn, and he gets a turn. So he rolls to recharge. No one ever recharges a breath weapon. I don't know why. He is going to... I think he's going to try and go around. Let's see how far he can go. Yeah, he's going to try and set Lexi up for some flankage.
Nice.
And himself. Hits with his greatsword. For a 13 slashing. Misses with his slam. But now Lexi is set up to really go nuts.
All right.
And it's the lair action. Yeah. Lexi, the Draconic Spirit, and Stultus are all going to need to make a Charisma saving throw, except Stultus is immune.
Charisma save.
What?
Shenanigans.
17.
12.
All right. So Lexi saves. Stultus is immune. The Draconic Spirit is under the effect of the Slow spell. And we jump all the way down to the swarms. Only one is still alive. Tries to recharge. Fails to the surprise of no one. It is just going to fully envelop Lexi. 19 to hit, which no longer hits. At the end of its turn, it's going to Great Raven's going to burn some legendary actions, and Lexi needs to make a Charisma saving throw.
Okay, give me 1 second. Eight.
All right, Lexi is going to get to enjoy some psychic damage. $18 psychic damage, and you are frightened. All right. Now it is Lexi's turn.
Okay. Did the other swarm disappear?
It's underneath you.
It's underneath me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Then that's probably what I'm going to hit because I'm surrounded by it. Do I have disadvantage then if I'm frightened?
Yes. If you were to attack the Great Raven, you have flanking, so you would be a flat roll.
Oh, good point. Yeah, I'll attack the Great Raven then instead. Just flat roll it. 18.
18 will hit.
Okay. 13 points of damage. Piercing kind plus. No. God damn it. I didn't want 2 of them. I only hit it once. Try this again. Okay, 1 point of lightning damage. And then my d4. Plus 2 points.
All right. It's starting to get pretty dang hurt.
All right, I'm gonna hit it again since we're flanking. And that's 25 to hit.
25 will hit.
Okay. Plus 12 points of piercing. Or 12 points of piercing damage. Plus 2 points of lightning. So 14 plus 54 is 1 extra point. All right, 15.
All right.
Here we go.
Whoops. It had... Wait, no, it didn't. Okay. It's going to go ahead and use its last legendary action. And it is actually going to gain some temporary hit points. It's like it pulls something from Lexi.
Rude.
And now it is the Great Raven's turn. Rolling for breath weapon. It got its breath weapon. But there's not that many great targets left.
That's why
You
I
all-
ran away.
You all learned your lesson and quit lining up directly in the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to go ahead and take its shot. It needs to... Oh, no, it doesn't. Never mind. It's a lair action. I don't know why I put that. Um, all right, so the Draconic Spirit and Lexi both need to make wisdom saving throws.
3.
18.
All right, Lexi resists. Oof. Lexi takes 16 points of psychic damage. But hey, so does the Draconic Spirit. But the Draconic Spirit is also now frightened.
No, it's not.
Is it immune to frighten?
Yes, it is.
Wah,
So
wah.
I take 16 points of damage,
Yep.
even though I saved.
Yep.
Good Lord.
All right. That was its turn. It's now Oric's turn.
Okay. Stultus just made this a little bit harder.
Oh,
But I think if I move here, I can launch a fireball and hit the Great Raven without hitting any friends. I will probably set the throne on fire.
this is a weird, wild blind shot.
Let's see. So I want to aim it there. Like here-ish. That spot.
Okay.
Since apparently my arrows are black, or at least they're looking black to me.
Yeah, they look black to me too.
Yeah, I don't know why they're black, because it looks like.
My color's supposed to be blue, I think.
Yeah.
Who
weird.
knows?
Well, in any case, only the Great Raven is getting hit with this.
I feel like this works rules as written, but it feels weird in fiction. Because I'm looking at your line of sight, and you can't actually. You're like aiming at the tip of a wing by shooting past it and like dropping the radius perfectly.
Well, I did see where it was before I moved.
Oh, that's true. All right.
So it's
Deck
a
save.
dex save of 18.
It's going to go ahead and burn one of its legendaries.
All right. So it'll then take, what is that, 15 points of damage when you cut it in half?
Yep. Anything else?
Nope. Wait, do I even have any bonus actions?
Oh yeah, without quicken, you don't have a lot of them. You could drink a potion.
I could drink a potion.
That might not be the worst idea.
I mean, I'm pretty safe right now.
That's true.
I'm done.
It is.
Oh wait, it's the dragon's turn now.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Multi-attack. It's slowed, so it can only do like action or move, right?
Yes.
Well, it doesn't need to move, so multi-attack.
Although I think, yeah, regardless of the creature's abilities or magic items, it can't make more than one melee or ranged attack during its turn.
Okay. Well, I didn't want to do a breath weapon with all my friends spread out anyway. So just a bite. Which is a 29 to hit.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yep, that'll hit.
So that will be 14 points of piercing damage.
All right.
And how long is it slowed for?
It is slowed until the next lair action.
Okay.
All right. At the end of the Draconic Spirit's turn, it is going to Yeah, it's going to go ahead and feed off of Lexi's fear again. Cyrus, you're up.
All right. Did we dispatch the other swarm?
It's under
It's
Lexi.
under Lexi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have line of sight on the Great Raven? I don't think I do.
Uh, you can
Not
just barely. You're almost exactly where Auric was. You can see like the tip of its wing.
Okay. But I would need to move to actually shoot at it.
Uh, it would have like, what's the highest level of cover that's not total cover?
3/4?
Yeah, it sounds right.
Okay. All right. Cyrus will move up here, transfer the hex to the Great Raven, and we'll attempt a bonus action hide. '27 stealth.
Are you hiding as your action?
No, I was going to cunning action.
Oh, moving your hex is a bonus action also.
But I thought I could do it. I forgot to say it last. I thought I could do it for free if I when something died.
You can do it after something has died, but it still takes a bonus action. So you're not using a new spell slot, but you're still using the bonus action.
Okay. All right. Well, no, I still want a bonus action hide, so I won't. I won't do anything with that because I guess.
All right.
So, does it see me with a 27?
Uh, let's see. No, not even close.
Cool. And we will shoot it with advantage.
.22 will hit.
Oh wait, shoot! That's what I forgot. Hang on. No, I already was invisible because I critted when I hit the swarm with
Mm.
Ah,
with the short bow. So I take that back. Can I just move and bonus action move the hex and then shoot it?
yeah, go for it.
Cool. Okay. So we'll keep the 22 to hit. So damage. 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 29 piercing and 1 necrotic. Total of 30.
How would you like to finish it?
Woohoo! Um, I think Cyrus is gonna aim, and I will send the arrow just like straight down its throat.
All right. So you pull back and you're focused. You're trying to get that perfect shot. You're completely invisible. And deadly focus, and you're about to fire. And a little voice goes, "Don't worry, I've got this." And you, and the arrow hits it perfectly dead on. And so you all see this arrow hit. And it's almost like the arrow pierces through, and all of the white fire on this figure is dragged behind it. And you see it almost splatter against a distant wall, like it has become like white blood that burns, like the other patches you've seen in this hall. At almost the same time, Cyrus, give me a charisma saving throw.
Is it charisma?
Yep.
13.
13. So all of you are rocked by this wave of it's tangible magic pulsing through the air. And it's not harmful, but it carries the idea of harm, of violence, of warfare, of destruction. And it washes over all of you. Cyrus, you see your arrow hit, you see that white fire splatter, and you see this wave rushing at you. And the rest of you, it's almost sort of intangible. Like there's no visible indication of it. You just feel it as it washes over you. Cyrus, you see it. It is a gray-black wave. It washes over you, and you wink out for a second. Not Cyrus, Auric, you're close enough to see this. You watch as Cyrus goes like, cut strings. But does not fall. There's a long pause, and then you watch Cyrus's body go, ow! And look around. Cyrus's eyes are this like deep opaque, not opaque, a solid black with like a glossiness to it. And Cyrus's body sort of stumbles for a minute and then sort of finds its feet. And he's still holding the bow. And the glassy eyes regard it and then kind of like shake it. And it becomes the long black bladed form of ill omen. Whatever this is seems to notice you regarding it, Auric, and it turns and looks at you. For a second, I think maybe you're reminded of the fragments of the War Raven. But then that same like high, small voice goes, "Oh, hold on a second. I gotta take care of this." And it just walks right between Lexi and the big draconic spirit. It's like, "Excuse me, sorry, yeah." Wham! And just stabs this short sword down into the body of the great raven. And with each stab, a big portion of the body disappears. And after like 10 stabs, which is way too many stabs, Uh, the last of it goes, and there is nothing left of it, not even a feather on the ground. Ill Omen is now radiating that gray black energy, and it starts to shake. And Lexi, how do you feel about whatever this is?
I'm a little frightened. Um, a little overwhelmed here.
Uh,
There's a lot of stabbing happening.
the voice says, "Ooh, I am I am very full." And then seeing your strange look goes, "You didn't want any of that, right?"
Good.
And the blade shakes and then flies loose and is sort of hovering in the air. The two blades sort of separate and are spinning over each other in these weird sort of helixing spirals. As soon as they leave your hand, Cyrus, you are back. You're now standing like right over where the Great Raven was, watching your blades like rotate in the air. And you see all those little like motes of raven energy, those sort of phantasmal ravens go poof, 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 and they sort of fill the air around it, and they start spiraling as well. And then there is a huge phantasmal raven, almost as large as the great raven, and it sort of spreads its wings, and all of it goes down inside, and the blades press into each other, and there is a gray black darkness that swells up out of the middle, and then there is a pop, and there is a small humanoid figure floating in the air, about three-ish, maybe a little more than 3 feet tall. That same gray skin that you've seen on some of the Mort family occasionally. Little black, sort of deep black talons at the end of each finger. The same dark eyes you just saw on Cyrus. Dark hair back to about here. Little feathers along the edge. And it looks like a child. They're wearing sort of plain, dark gray, almost sort of like peasant garb. It has a sort of timeless quality to it. Sort of like loose slacks and like a white, or not white, a gray sort of tunic. And they turn and wave at you all and smile. And that's where we're going to stop for the week.
Okay.
So I'm going to stop the recording.
Recording stopped.
And I'm going to stop the stream.